Good evening, Kate. How are you doing?
Doing all right. Hi, Dean. How are you doing?
Yeah, it's nice to see you again. It's a very exciting new release that we got our hands on. So I'm very excited to go through some of the features and get your take on it. And you're going to show us some of the hot new features on the web client as well. The guys have really been working hard and expanding the feature set so exponentially. You can hardly keep up with all the new features.
Yeah, and welcome everyone to our webinar. We are happy to see you here.
Yeah, it's amazing. Right, so let me pull up my document here and let me just quickly. Sorry, I was so excited talking to you beforehand. I should have done this before the time. Right, yes. So we are going to look at some of the improvements in Dominion. Let me share my screen over here and. Yeah, so the significant, let me just get my screen shared. Sorry, forgive me, I'm with like 20 fingers and 20 fingers today. So, right, let's have a look at it. So we all know that, in the regular Dominion, we used to have our AI labels. And then in addition to that, you'll see that there is now an AI objects tag as well. So when you do your AI tagging in Dominion, you're going to have the option to go through these two different channels. And what is the difference, you may ask? So let's have a quick look. Let me just drag this onto my monitor here. So we have got, first of all, the difference between the AI labels and the objects. The labels are more like descriptors, and the objects are actual physical items. So if you have a look at Google Cloud Vision's site, when they actually describe the difference between these, you'll see that labels are generally something. For example, here they tag labels as street, snapshot, town, night, alley. They're very generic and vague. Like in terms of working with metadata in a standardized way, these would generally be called categories. And then the actual objects that the AI tags recognition returns. Now, these are your physical keywords. These are the things that occur in the image. Like in this image, for example, they've got bicycle, bicycle wheel, picture frame, door, etc. So that's the difference between the two. So, let's just give it a bit of a test run and let's look for some unassigned images and unassigned objects. So we're going to see what we have in the catalog here. Let's just browse down until we get to some nice JPEGs. Let's do these ones. Okay, so we've got mountain, river. Actually, let's look for something that's a bit more dense. So this over here, let's see if we get any good results on that. So I'm going to go right click on the actual item, go down to my action menu, and then hit this generate AI labels, AI tags. Now you'll notice now that this dialog also has a few more settings that you can tweak on this. So if you've selected a bulk of images, you can choose here to generate tags for unprocessed files. So what this does is you don't run the risk of processing the same file twice, because the AI vision only gives you the first 1,000 tag assignments that you do in the month for free. It's very inexpensive after that, but you don't want to unnecessarily incur costs if you don't have to. So you can choose between these different options. Generate tags for all files, including those already processed. That's if you want to redo it. And then update tags according to the relevance score. So we're going to have a look at the relevance score let me actually show it to you while we are working on it. So if you switch over to your server, you'll notice on the catalogs, if you go to the auto tagging option on there is a relevance score over here that, the closer you set it to 1, the more of the tags that the AI generates it's going to include. And the closer you set it to 0, the fewer of those tags and it obviously ranks them by the relevance score. So when AI says this is a beach and it gives an 80% score, and you've got your threshold set at 90, then it's going to exclude it. So just bear that in mind. It takes a bit of monkeying around with the settings and working with them until you find that sweet spot where the AI works as intended. And then obviously the same settings apply to the objects. And now in addition to that, you can also generate the tags in different languages. So as you saw on the previous settings window that I had open there's a couple of languages now that it generates the tags in as well. So that's very handy for our non-English speaking audience. You hit OK, and then that goes into the queue. It renders it back to Google, and then returns it, with keywords. So let's have a look and see how successful this was. Keep your fingers crossed. Right, so sorry, there we go. Let's just go down. So I'm going to select off of it and then back onto it. So then for my AI labels, I've seen it returns appetizer, baked goods, baking. So it's returned actually quite a bit of them. And then let's go right down to the AI objects. Let's just see, where are they? Do I have them open here? Bear with me, I might have them. There we go. So the AI objects, these are the items that it indicates here. So it goes baked goods, food, fruit, and strawberry. So these are the physical objects that it detects within the image. It's very handy when you want to, for example, if you've got a lot of images that are related to general abstract concepts, like landscapes and sunsets. Those are very good for the AI tags, but the AI objects are when you tag specific things like products, and where you've got individual scenes that are quite cluttered with specific objects. That's when it will come in very handy. And then also, this works via the web client as well. Kate, I'm going to pass it on over to you. Let me just stop my sharing over here and throw you up. And then if you can, I'm going to unmute your mic, and you can, or you can unmute your mic and then just go for it and give us a quick rundown from your side.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, what I have right here, I actually haven't generated anything yet, so we can do it together with you. Well, let me select a few colors. Well, I believe I need at least those with more details on this specific background. And now I can generate AI tags for all of them at once, and the process has been launched, so I believe we need a few moments to receive the result. And then we can go to the specific file and check the properties right here. Okay, 1 second. I believe I have AI labels. Well, it seems that I need to customize it and add it here. And I add objects. Oops.
You won't know how many times that's happened to me, Kate, where I'll be scrolling up and down the list and up and down the list looking for the tags.
Yeah, it is somewhere there. Exactly. And it seems okay. Let's be clever and reorganize them by now. But it's somewhere between my eyes. Okay, all right. Here it is. You can see as AI labels, we got some keywords as vehicle, wheel, spoke, bus, broom. Well, they're pretty relevant to this specific item. I don't have the selection as Dean had. So basically, Google Vision generates as many as it can, and I got all these tags as a piece of metadata in my catalog. So using any of them or removing any of them, I can easily navigate through my files, managing the catalog using the metadata, or create a shared collection based on these specific filters. Okay, Dean, would you like to continue with another feature? You're muted. Unfortunately, we cannot hear you right now. Please.
Oh, I'm gonna lie. Yeah, this is the professional Dominion studio where we.
We are new to here, to be honest. But
we have an interesting question here. The maximum number of tags that can be generated. This depends, upon the actual image. The AI. I'm not exactly sure the maximum that it can generate, but I've seen it generate like 50, 60 tags, per image. It all depends on the content of the image. If it's a very busy, packed image, then it's obviously going to generate more tags. But it really depends more or less on the context. This is actually something we can look into and get some feedback to you as well, Frank. So we'll look into that, and maybe we can just post it in the comments below this on the YouTube channel. Sorry, let me just silence all of this noise going off here. So the next item that we want to cover, Daria, this would be just some of the minor improvements that we have in the in the new release. Did you show the linking of files in the web client?
not yet. So
I think let's finish off with the web client, which is also part of the major improvements, and then afterwards we'll just take a quick run through the minor improvements. I'm going to share your
just
screen.
1 second, Dean. It seems that we have one more question regarding tags. So let's take a look at this one first.
The AI tags, as I understand it, to this at this moment, they get output in a linear fashion, but you can rearrange them yourself. So you can go and edit the tags and group them together and put them in different, in a different structure. So it's not like the hierarchy is rigid. You can edit and manipulate it. So it's not a read-only tag like some metadata objects are. Right, back to you, Kate.
Okay. Well, talking about linking in the web, it seems that it was one of the most desired features for all clients, and it's finally here. I'm going to show you how it works using my basic catalog and selecting this file right here. I'm going to start linking this file with another one. Let's say it might be just the same file with cars. I can start linking using two different types of group. The first one, by doing so, the file will be edited to the first group, and all these files will be linked with another file from the second group. Now I have to choose one more file and add it to the second group. You can see that these files from the first group and this one from the second one. I'm going to press link, and files will be linked together. Once we get back to the catalog, okay, well, let me quickly find the file that we were linked. You can see this small symbol. Well, I believe you can see it because my monitor is not really big and quality might be different. Well, this is tiny one chain, basically show us that we have link file for this specific image, and we can get an idea which file was linked with that. This feature can be used, especially if you have some policy regarding GDPR, if you need to have documents associated with photos, like any agreement, any specific technical task for the specific project, and you can definitely link them together.
I mean, sorry to interrupt you there, but a perfect use case for this would be, for example, if you have model release forms, where the model signs all over, I was at this photo shoot, you can use my images for this project, here's my contact details, and this is my agency. And then, you can file that and link it to the actual files of that photo shoot. Or maybe you have, for example, a specifications document that you want to link up to specific files. There's so many use cases for this, Kate. I'm very happy to see an implementation of this on the web client especially. And it looks like it's more robust on the web because you can take multiple files and link them to one another, whereas I think in the desktop client, it's only a one-to-many kind of linking, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah, it is a bit different. And also one more use case that might be right here, like if you have, let's say, different files, maybe group of files with the same expiration date, and it is not a part of metadata, you don't need to do it manually for a single file. You can basically link this file with a document with the license key, and you will get the idea when the license expiration date, and you don't need to do the same job twice. But it's still, you need to check these documents.
Yeah. Can we link video files?
Well, that's a good question. I have never tried. Let me quickly check.
I cannot see why not. I cannot see why not. While you're looking through that, Katie's asked a question about, are the tags trainable? Look, the model that's behind Google Vision is a general purpose AI model. So if you want to, I know it can be done on the Google Vision platform where you train a custom model. Say, for example, your catalog contains 500,000 images of a very specific tool and its evolution through time, and it goes back centuries. That's a very specific type of asset that you feature in your catalog. So a general purpose algorithm like the one that Google Vision employs might not necessarily be effective. I know it can be done, but please don't ask me how to implement it. The terminology and everything that because I tried to look into it and it is just way above my way above my intellect. I surrendered when they started talking geek to me on the website. So to cut it short, I know it can be done. I'm not sure if it has been implemented, but you can do a custom training model on the AI platform. I would have to defer to the developers. So if you want, if you would please just reach out to us via email. We can pose this question to them and they will respond to you directly with a bit more substance than, I don't know, like I do. Sorry, video files.
Yes, we can link video files. While you were answering another question, I was showing this on the background. So I believe Michael could see it. But if not, I can do it one more time. Please let us know in the comments. Yeah. So we basically can link video files.
Yeah, sorry, I was talking, so I was probably distracting everybody. If you don't mind, just for my benefit as well, just give us a quick show of how that works again.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, if you go to video files, let me select this one, and I'm going to start linking. I have this file right here, and I would like to link it with another one. I'm going to add it to the second group and link them together. Now you can see one small chain and another one right here.
Amazing. And what happens when you click through on that link?
You can get both files in the property area, like link files to this one.
Okay. It's very similar to the panel in the desktop client. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, which
And
shows this
also,
links to and this
yep,
is linked to. Yeah.
exactly. If you want to unlink this file, that's my favorite one. Just one click and
One click and it's gone.
no
Yeah.
chains, no files linked.
Amazing. There was mention on the minor improvements section of the blurb that the developers sent us that when all files are selected, the shared collection and download functions are immediately available from the drop-down menu. To access the other functions, it's still necessary to scroll through all the thumbnails. I don't know if you want to maybe just show us that, that
Yep.
select all on a search result.
Yeah. Actually, this is my main catalog that's slightly over 2,000 files. And by selecting all files, you can see the download selecting files and even different file export presets are available for me immediately. And
Right.
I also have a shared collection option. If we need to edit tag or generate AI labels, export to PDF, we have to scroll it manually and make sure that we loaded all the files from the catalog.
Right. That's great. Another minor improvement on the website, the web client, is that it's the generation of medium-sized previews can be forced to be generated during the import process, and this will improve your workflow, especially if you're managing files in full screen mode. And I believe that is it for the web client. Let me just quickly refer back to my notes here to make sure that I'm not missing anything. No, I am not. Right. So then on the server side and desktop, I'm going to quickly run through these just to give you guys the update. There is on the desktop client an added option to update thumbnails only for the files where they are missing. So in the past, when you updated thumbnails, if you select the files and you hit Control B, it basically updates, all the files, regardless of whether they already have a thumbnail. But that process now runs selectively. So it'll only generate a thumbnail if there is not one present, which means that whole process of regenerating thumbnails are going to go much quicker. The interface's responsiveness when it does facial recognition has been greatly improved. You'll see that the interface doesn't lag, or especially if you're working with large data sets, that seems to run a whole lot quicker as well. The option to automatically confirm suggested faces for the faces that have already been tagged in the facial recognition module is there as well. So when you ingest, you'll see that it picks up that this person has already been tagged, and it will suggest that that person be added to any new faces that are detected. Then on the server side, there's a couple of improvements that the guys have done in terms of the PostgreSQL database. You can now use custom usernames, passwords, port numbers on the PostgreSQL server. You can use special characters in the password. There's some additional rescan and import filters that you can configure with appropriate user rights. There's some issues that the guys have fixed around the rendering of SVG files, and a couple of other file formats that are also now supported are IGES and STP. Those require a Daminion 3D extension. So all the designers that are working with AutoCAD files and CAD design files will find this very handy. There is there's support now for the key shot scene format files, the BIP files, and then some more SolidWorks file formats are also supported. That's the SLD PRT and SLD ASM file formats. So it's a quite a well-rounded improvement that has been listed in the release. Let me just have a quick look here. Yes, Stephen, definitely you can do that. Let me just quickly share my monitor here. So if you go to your facial recognition module over here, you do have the option to ignore faces, and then as well on the if you are doing your detection, there is the ability for you. Oh no, sorry, my bad. That's for the AI labels. This just beneath it here, there is this option here to clear information about faces and process the file again. So if you find that the detection runs, doesn't detect well, or maybe you've edited the file to make it, to up the brightness maybe, or to lower the contrast so that the person stands out more, you can go and relaunch that face detection process by clearing out the existing information and then running the detection process again. Let me just see here as well. You asked, can these tags be written to the metadata, and can you explain how to immediately sync the writing of sidecar as the icon not appearing as shown on the documentation? So on your, if you go to your server, let me just start that up. So your metadata is handled by a setting on your preferences here. So you'll see your reading metadata and writing metadata. This is where you handle those settings. So reading, it basically just ingests, but the writing of metadata here, you've got different options here to write them directly into the EXIF or IPTC. You were talking about sidecars, and then you have the do not. And this, this is added for raw format support. You can activate and deactivate these settings as you see fit for your formats. And then when you get back to your Daminion client, you simply what you can do is on your actions menu, you can read tags and write tags. But ultimately, when you make any changes to the metadata, you'll see in the bottom left-hand corner here, it'll show you. Say, for example, I enter some metadata there and save it. Then that should essentially write this back into the file, and it should be synchronized. We can let's just see if we open this file. Let's just open this with Bridge and examine the metadata so that we can have a quick look and see. Okay, let's browse. Let's go to the DAM server, and the file in question was these blue chairs. Let's have a look at this metadata. So we should have it on events, I believe. Where did I put it in? I did put it in somewhere. Am I going blind, Kate?
Yeah, that's always this problem.
I know it's in here somewhere. Let's examine. This is a bane of my existence, is trying to use this show all metadata tool. This is the raw output of the EXIF data, and we are looking for tests. tests. Right. Let's see, where did we find? Is that written in here? I don't know. I think I must have bungled this up. TES. No, it's not in there. I don't know. I am not going to try and troubleshoot this right now. In theory, in principle, as I understand the process, as soon as you enter any metadata into the system, it goes immediately into a queue. That queue attempts to synchronize it back into the file. So depending on the file type, if it supports metadata embedding, it gets written directly into the file header itself. If it does not support metadata embedding, it gets written into a XMP sidecar. So I don't know, maybe if you want to just clarify that afterwards, Stephen, just drop us an email and we will, we'll get in touch with you. Just reach out to support@dominion.net and we will see if we can resolve it and give you a clear answer. Which version, do we know which version of PostgreSQL we're running at the moment, Kate? Let me just double check on my server here. I believe you're really asking us the hard questions today, Uwe.
Yeah, I know that it comes with Daminion, and you don't.
I know, I'm not exactly sure which. It's like it's something that's just running under the hood, so I don't really pay attention to it. I am not sure, Uwe. I suggest just making a post on the forum, and we will see if we can get that direct information to you guys. But that is basically what I had from my side. Anything from your side, Kate?
Well, actually, I have nothing to add right here, especially for PostgreSQL. Well, maybe we have some more questions or anything that.
I don't see any on my monitor here, so I think we don't want to keep everybody up until whatever time of the night. Let's conclude it here. We keep it short and brief. We invite you to get your hands on the new Dominion 8.1 release. Reach out to any one of our support agents or visit our website. There is a form on there where you can fill out and request a version to get your hands dirty with. And our support teams will gladly help you to set it up, configure it, get it up and running, and make sure that you are up and running with Dominion right from the word go. Unless there's anything else from you guys, I am going to call it. Let's just have a quick look here. Thank you, Larry. You are very welcome. And let's hope you guys play with some of the facial recognition features. And we love to hear from you as well. So if you have any feedback, if you find that something works very well for you, something does not work as expected, we really would love to hear that feedback. And the only way that we can sharpen the knife is to hone it on the stone of your feedback. So as long as we get good feedback from our users, the developers are very keen to listen and to adapt the development roadmap according to the feature requests and feedback they get from our users.
And to be honest, they're really waiting for some negative feedback on newly released features to make sure that they can improve it according to the feedback. And the first thing that they usually ask me about, okay, what was the negative feedback? And when I said it was too good, they never believe me. Well, we have one more question right here. So
do you want to run that one?
We'll take... No, please take this one.
Linking is web and desktop, both of them. As we've demonstrated, the the web linking to you. The same principle applies on the desktop. If I can just give you I am going to show you briefly where you get this linking from. So on your Windows menu, if you open that menu, you'll see that there is a linking option there. So as soon as you activate that, there is a panel that opens over here. So if you select files in here, you can choose to, I'm just going to make this a little bit wider so that you can see these two tabs. So the same that you saw in the web client when Kate demonstrated it earlier, that's the same principle that applies here. So you can select the files. So let's take this one, for example. We are going to start linking, and then we are going to link that to the avocado, and we are going to link it to the Eiffel Tower. And then when I hit finish linking, you'll see that this relationship has been established between these files. So if I now navigate to, for example, the avocado, then I can see on that tab there, the avocado is linked to the cottage cheese fruit sandwiches over there. And the same principle as if I go to the sandwiches, you'll see there's an overlay on the thumbnail as well that you can use to access this quick menu that says what is linked to this file or where is this file linked to. So you can establish that relationship between them. So if I select there what is linked to this file, it's going to show me those two. And then if I go to that one there, I can also, if I double click, I'm sorry, no, that's my bad. You actually have to find it in your browser. There's no handy way to just jump to it, so you're going to have to find it. And then if you go to that option there, what is this linked to? The same kind of principle applies to the square. Where was it, the square or the Eiffel Tower? Yeah, it was the Eiffel Tower. And there we go. You can see where this file is linked to. Very similar to the way that it works in the desktop client. Very self-explanatory. You play around with it for 5 minutes and you'll get it. It looks terribly complex when somebody's explaining it, but it's not that hard to get. You play around with it and you'll pick it up in a flash. Right. So
yeah, that's so true.
It's true. When the first time I sat down to do digital asset management, I heard all these complicated terms and metadata and synchronization and this, and it took me all of 3 hours to fully understand and grasp the concept. It's not terribly complex. It's daunting because it's new and it's technical, but as soon as you dive in on the deep end, you'll be swimming in no time. Very easy to get.
Yeah, when we have 10 hours of support and onboarding training included, I usually say that, okay, it seems that you're going to be a better expert in Daminion than me working at company for long years, because, 10 hours, you can even do some technical support for the software.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. So I'm highlighting the link over here. So if you guys want to grab a copy, just visit this URL over there. You can grab a copy of Daminion. If you need any help installing it, please feel free again to reach out to our support desk. The guys are there. They'll schedule a session with you. They'll talk you through it, or they can do it remotely on your behalf. We do all of that at no cost or expense to you. We are very happy to help you get up and running and see how Daminion can change the way that you look at your digital assets. So we are going to leave it here. Thank you very much for joining us. And thank you, Kate, for being so generous with your time. And we will see you guys again on the next one.
Thank you, Dean. Thank you guys for joining us, and have a wonderful Friday and weekends.